Hey guys, this is Venkat for SaaSdirectory.co, a part of Cycle Network. Today I have with me Chris, who's the founder of an amazing and beautiful CourseMaker platform. There are lots of online course making platforms today available today, but this one is really something that impressed me, especially because it's affordable. The right word to use is it's easy, elegant, and affordable. And it is called CourseMaker itself. So welcome to the show, Chris. I just want you to introduce yourself, please.
Sure. Thanks, Venkat. Thanks for having me on. So, like I say, I'm Chris, founder of CourseMaker. In the past, I've worked as a tech lead software engineer for Babylon Health, which is a health tech unicorn, and various fintechs, and actually a brief stint in consulting. But on the side, I've also been an online course teacher myself. I teach about 15,000 students about machine learning engineering. And I was doing this on a few different platforms. And as I was going through that process, it felt to me like there was something missing. There wasn't a platform that was really tailored to the technical course author, people like myself who were teaching subjects around software or data or science, these kinds of topics. So that's where the original idea for CourseMaker came from. And here we are now. We've just opened up the beta, so exciting times.
Great. Chris, as you were telling about the courses you were running, so what kind of courses were you making, and what is your area of expertise?
Yeah, I mean, I would class myself as sort of mostly a back-end engineer, but I've also filled the role of a machine learning engineer. So I'm not a data scientist, but I'm quite familiar with the process of deployment of machine learning models and how you test them and how you monitor them. The sort of perhaps some of the less glamorous stuff, which is actually really critical for getting things in front of customers in a sort of reliable, repeatable way. So that I teach a couple of courses. One is on deployments with Soleh Gali, who's an award-winning data scientist.
Great.
And another also with Soleh is on testing and monitoring machine learning models.
Great. So how did you get the idea of creating CourseMaker, Chris?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, it was probably March, April time of 2020. And, at that point, I'd already been teaching online for about a year and a half. And like I say, I tried out a few different platforms, and I'd found them with not much tailoring for the technical course author, no way to easily do code syntax highlighting or to create the sort of charts that I wanted, and certainly not the sort of interactive coding experiences that I wanted to create. No integrations with things like Google Colab, no ability to easily reference code in GitHub. Lots of things that I guess if you're a generic course platform, perhaps it's not worth your while to focus on those sorts of features. But I figured that there's plenty of people who are teaching software and data and more scientific topics who would appreciate those sorts of features. And that's definitely the feedback we've been getting from our early customers and people who come across CourseMaker.
Great. So Chris, to continue with that, so you were saying that you were also a course creator. You would have explored several course creating platforms available online, and you were not really satisfied. You missed something, and you thought, okay, you will build something on your own, which has all these key features. So to continue with that, can you tell about the key features? Let's say if I am going to make a course on CourseMaker, what are the key features do you think I can experience?
Sure. So, like I say, CourseMaker is tailored to the technical course author. So, in line with that, we have beautiful syntax highlighting for code and math and science. We in the next couple of weeks are rolling out a feature that I'm really excited about, which is interactive coding exercises, so that you can author individual bits of code which a student then is able to execute in their browser in over 60 languages. And then you can pass in expected outputs so that students get feedback on whether they're entering the correct code. So that's another key feature of CourseMaker. We also have the capability to handle some of the frustrating admin stuff. So we've just rolled out the ability to report on things like EU and UK value-added tax, which is a common pain point for course authors. And as well as just all the other usual things that people expect in a course platform. So super slick way to create courses. We use a lot of Markdown, which I think a lot of developers find quite a natural fit, so that it's sort of tools that you're used to. And yeah, just taking care of all the things that course authors don't want to have to deal with, right? So everything's GDPR compliant. The student sites look great. They're blazing fast. They're mobile responsive. The tax stuff, like I mentioned, and it all integrates nicely with Stripe as well. So it's kind of the idea is how can we make it as easy as possible for a technical course author to go from zero to having their course up in front of their students and getting on with their business.
Great, appreciate it. Tell us about your team, Chris. Who else help you in building CourseMaker?
Yeah, so I'm a solo founder, but I have had a collection of different contractors and people who've been involved in the process of creating CourseMaker over the past in recent months. So yeah, I mean it's obviously a small team, but we've got a lot done. And as part of our work, we've open sourced our Gatsby.js course creation theme as well, so people can have a look at our code.
Okay, so Chris, when did you officially launch the beta version of CourseMaker?
2 weeks ago, so January 26th, 2021. Okay. Sorry.
And how's the response so far?
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of great feedback. We've got our early customers using the product now. I mean, as always, when you're first encountering your initial customers, there's loads of feedback, and I really enjoy that process of talking to course creators, finding out like how we can make this product as useful as possible for them.
Right.
And yeah, but what's really resonated with people, I think, is something tailored to the technical author. Right. And the markdown touches. These are things I can see from our early users are going down very well. Great.
So Chris, see, I am someone who desires that there should be more and more companies, more and more huge successful companies being created through developers, product makers like you. And I have a desire that you should make this as a huge SaaS company. Do you have such a desire to make this as a kind of a proper huge SaaS company wherein you employ at least 10 to 15 people? Do you have such a desire?
I guess it depends. My goal right now is not necessarily to rapidly scale up the company. I think that there's a lot of value in bootstrapping, but at the same time, I'm not a sort of dogmatic about it. There are times where maybe it does make sense to take on like a seed funding round so that you can hire extra people and that kind of thing. But at the same time, it's not 2006 anymore, right? Like micro SaaS is a huge trend. You go on Indie Hackers and you'll find hundreds of people running great SaaS companies, and the teams are sort of, sometimes it's solo founders, sometimes it's 2, 3, 4 people.
Right.
So I'm playing that one by ear, really. There are some quite advanced things we would like to do in the long term around some of the code execution and being able to sort of access that from anywhere. not necessarily even just within the course platform, but embedding it into other sites, other membership places. And for that, potentially, we'd need to scale out the engineering team a little bit. So watch this space, I think.
Fine. So what are the, so in line with that, I want to know, what are the challenges you face trying to market a product, sell a product without much marketing budget and, without any funding? What are the challenges you face, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the attention economy. So of course it is definitely one of the challenges, and it's a crowded marketplace, right? There are a lot of players there at the moment, which I tend to view as a positive thing, to be honest. If you're doing something and there's no one else in the market, that's quite a worrying sign in my view. So there are lots of things that we're doing. We are creating quite a bit of content. We've put out an ebook with a free ebook with the sort of playbook on how to create courses. We're thinking about the problems that our customers are facing and trying to provide the best content we can to help them address those sorts of problems. So, things like how do you effectively do Twitter marketing? How do you grow an email list? How do you build an audience? These sorts of questions. And, how do you come up with an idea for a course? And then how do you go from idea to putting together a curriculum and, providing worksheets and that sort of thing? And then, I guess one of the nice things about the business is that it's quite easy to identify potential customers, right? They're people who are either already teaching on other platforms. So there's the cold outreach option there, or it's people who are clearly hustling, right? They've got some kind of audience. Maybe they run a YouTube channel. Maybe they have a strong social media following of some kind. And there's a lot of potential there for them to monetize and to create a course.
Right.
Courses do tend to have a better ROI than ebooks, for example. So yeah, we've kind of taken an approach that does some elements of cold outreach, some content marketing. We've been growing an email list, so there's the email marketing side. I'm active on a lot of communities where course creators hang out.
Okay.
And just trying to add value there where I can.
Okay, great. So I want to know, do you want to discuss about the tech stack behind CourseMaker?
Sure, I can talk about that a little bit. Yeah. So we have, like I say, an open source Gatsby.js, what's called a theme, which is a powerful feature of Gatsby.js, because there's something called shadowing, which allows you to take a given theme and modify just certain parts of it that you need. So we use that for deploying our student sites, and that's quite advantageous because it means that the student sites are just bundles of JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. So they're really fast, which is good for SEO, and also makes for a really great student experience. And then, we have a headless CMS. We're using Strapi, which is a popular open source headless CMS. And then we have a server written in Python, which does some of our more custom things. And we use a lot of AWS infrastructure, doing some quite fancy stuff in there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and of course we have our author app, which is the nice UI for creating the courses, which is a React app.
Okay. Having said that, just to give an idea for other solopreneurs or other developers who wanted to create a product, how long did you take to do the first MVP? And how many months or weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because I've been doing a lot of it sort of evenings and weekends, right? I mean, I've now left my full-time job to really focus on CourseMaker, but that was quite recently. So I guess I'd say it was probably 6 months to build the MVP working, but I was working on it then evenings and weekends.
Okay, appreciate it, Chris. So I really had a detailed, a story of how CourseMaker was created. One important curious question, how did you came up with this name CourseMaker.org?
I guess I just wanted something that would be as self-explanatory as possible. I also
Okay.
really like the word maker. It has good connotations in the indie hacker and the indie developer community, right? It's it has this connotation of people who are building things, but are also interested in entrepreneurship,
Right.
but have a creative streak as well. So I just combine that with course, and you got CourseMaker.
Okay, I really love this idea. Yeah, what are your future plans, Chris?
Grow CourseMaker, um,
Yeah,
and make it the best place for technical course authors to go to
great.
create a course. I think we can really do that.
Okay. Um, a really wonderful platform, Chris, and I'm also a customer. I'm going to soon become a customer of CourseMaker, I hope. I
Fantastic.
really love the product. It's simple, sleek, and as I said, it's really affordable. Thank you so much for your time. I really can understand how a solopreneur had an idea, had a problem he wanted to solve, and you picked up some idea about it because you yourself were a course creator and you worked hard for it for almost 3 6 months or more, and now the product is out, and I'm sure it's going to be a great success, Chris. Thank you so much for your time from Cycle Network. I hope we have another chat very soon after, as a desire, after you launch your second SaaS product. Thank you so much. Good luck to you.
Great. Thank you.